Did you know that China is like a world factory and a huge money-making machine? But things around the world are changing, and now everyone is asking, can India replace China as the economic leader? Can India become the world's next superpower? In this video, we are going to delve into all the fascinating details on whether India can take China's place as a major player on the world stage, whether it has all the necessary key elements to become the next superpower. Before we start, I would appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It would make a huge difference. Thanks, and now let's dive in. India is often compared to China regarding economic growth, population size, and industrial capabilities. While China has established itself as a manufacturing powerhouse, India has made strides in information technology and services. If we talk about population, India has 1.42 billion people, while China has 1.41 billion population right now. Both countries have achieved significant influence, yet their paths to potential superpower status are quite distinct. China's economy has been growing steadily over the years. However, the rate at which it's growing has slowed down quite a bit. Back in 2007, it was growing exceptionally fast at almost 14.2%, but by 2018, it had slowed down to 6.6%. Experts from the International Monetary Fund predict that by the year 2025, it may slow down even more to 4.5%. The leaders in China had strategic initiatives to maintain economic stability. They wanted to start creating more of their own stuff. This way, they wouldn't have to rely on other countries' technologies as much. This is part of a big plan they announced in 2015 called Made in China 2025. With 2025 just a few months away, the South China Morning Post has been busy digging deep, examining where China stands today. Quite impressive, most of their Made in China 2025 decade-long goals have been checked off their list. Remember back in the day? China was stuck in the bottom rungs of the worldwide industrial ladder, churning out low-cost, technologically underdeveloped goods. Well, all of that has flipped now. The Made in China 2025 initiative ensured conditions improved substantially. The plan was simple yet ambitious, leveraging science and technology to upgrade Chinese manufacturing. And it did work. Today, the country is producing high-quality, technologically advanced products that hold some serious value in the global market. On the other hand, India, where the manufacturing sector accounts for 17% of the nation's economy, is ranked as the 6th largest globally. The Indian government has implemented numerous initiatives to facilitate foreign investment and support various sectors of its industry. Recently, they've focused on strengthening their defense sector. What does that mean? They are implementing initiatives such as the Make in India campaign and defense procurement procedure to make sure their military forces are equipped with state-of-the-art technology. They'll make more of their own stuff and get fewer things from other countries. Plus, they'll also be selling more of their homemade defense stuff. Even though now India only makes up 3.1% of all the money made in the world, so there's a substantial growth potential. Even the young population in India is perking up, bringing fresh ideas compared to China. And it is estimated that by 2050, India's population will be 1.67 billion against 1.32 billion in China. This is not only due to India's higher birth rate, but also because China has had a decades-long policy of limiting the number of children it has had, which has led to a declining birth rate and an aging population. India wants to become a business hub for the whole world. To do this, they need a lot of skilled workers. They're teaching awesome new skills to many people every year. In fact, about 10 million young professionals are learning new things through a program called Skill India every year, while the Chinese population is mainly aged. In 2020, almost 18 out of every 100 people in China were 60 years old or older. That's nearly 1 in every 5 people. What's even more surprising is that this number is shooting up incredibly fast. As a matter of fact, by the year 2050, around 40 out of every 100 people in China will be 60 years old or older. That's like having 2 in every 5 people. In terms of technology and innovation, today India is like a tech hub with some of the biggest IT companies in the world right at home. You might have heard of some of them, such as Tata Consultancy Services, Infosys, and Wipro. They're like the captains of the tech world, helping people all over the globe with awesome IT solutions. India's IT industry is going to get bigger and bigger and they think it's going to reach $350 billion by the year 2030. In fact, India holds the bronze medal position, being the third largest home for these cool, tech-savvy businesses across the globe. In time to 2023, in just that single year, over 950 brand new tech startups sprouted up in India. That's nearly 1,000. In the past decade, India has seen the birth of more than 31,000 tech startups. And here's another remarkable figure. From 2019 to 2023, these tech startups collected a gigantic amount of funding, a huge $70 billion. Nevertheless, China remains a leader in high-tech manufacturing, especially in electronics. Chinese factories, massive buildings, developed infrastructure, and talented engineers enable the country to be the world's factory, producing everything from smartphones to semiconductors. Well-known companies like Huawei, Xiaomi, and BYD show just how good China is at this. And guess what? They're getting even better, using advanced robotics and technologies driven by artificial intelligence to make things. Now, India is a different kind of specialist. They're masters in creating computer software, digital systems, and artificial intelligence. They've got loads of technologically proficient workforce and a fast-growing digital economy, and their government helps them too, just like in China. Big companies like Infosys, TCS, and Wipro have helped India be at the forefront of the global IT industry. Meanwhile, despite all the progress, China is having some disagreements with other countries. One of the biggest issues is between China and the US. They're having what we can call a trade war. This basically means they are having a big disagreement about who gets to sell what and where. On February 14, 2020, the Phase 1 agreement between the Trump administration and China went into effect, leading to new U.S. tariffs on Chinese imports. The average U.S. tariff on Chinese goods remained elevated at 19.3%, which is over 6 times higher than it was before the trade war started in 2018. These tariffs affect 66.4% of U.S. imports from China, amounting to about $335 billion in trade. Chinese tariffs on U.S. exports also remain high, averaging 21.1%. These retaliatory tariffs affect 58.3% of imports from the U.S., covering roughly $90 billion in trade. And of course, such measures disrupted the amount of trade between the two countries, impacted production and prices, and reshaped how they do business in the long term. Even though the COVID-19 pandemic briefly reversed the trend, the U.S. has become less important for China's exports. From 2018 to 2022, China's exports to the U.S., as a share of its total exports, dropped by over 3 percentage points, which amounts to about $102 billion, or 0.57% of China's GDP in 2022. This decline also reduced the U.S.'s contribution to China's overall export growth. Additionally, China's exports to Hong Kong, which acts as a hub for goods headed to the U.S., have also decreased. Another trouble spot is between China and India. They're not getting along because they can't agree on who owns certain parts of land up in the snowy mountains called the Himalayas, especially a place named Ladakh. A lot is going on in the South China Sea as well. China has some differences with neighbors like Vietnam and the Philippines. Even the US worries about China, saying it owns too much of that sea. However, India has cultivated relatively positive relationships with both Western countries and its neighbors, positioning itself as a key player on the global stage. With Western nations like the United States, India shares strong strategic and economic ties, especially in technology, defense, and trade. India is currently the star player in 2 big teams, the G20 and the BRICS. Their goal is to make their economy better. In the G20 team, India was ready to take on the challenge. It hosted the G20 summit with a focus on innovation and inclusive growth. This effort emphasized India's commitment to addressing global challenges through cooperation and mutual understanding. Known for its powerful influence, India is considered a significant and strong advocate within the BRICS and the United Nations. Its actions and positions often seek to safeguard the interests of all members. For instance, when China proposed inviting Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Mexico to join the BRICS, it was India who respectfully declined. However, when it comes to development and infrastructure, the story is quite different. Imagine boarding a train in China and speeding across 2,000 miles to reach Singapore in just 18 hours. This is part of China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, a project that began over a decade ago with the goal of creating new trade routes and connecting China to the broader world. The BRI is driven by three key objectives. First, it plays a crucial role in China's strategy to establish safer, more controlled trading networks. Second, it allows China's numerous state-owned enterprises to expand into new markets abroad. Finally, it serves as an important tool for providing economic support to the country's central provinces. In 2021, they opened the Laos-China Railway. This speedy train service runs from Kunming in China to the capital of Laos, Vientiane. This 10-hour thrill ride covers about 621 miles. China says it's really popular and also helping local businesses in Laos. Plus, China helped build Southeast Asia's first superfast bullet train in Indonesia. Despite a bumpy start, it finally kicked off in 2023, connecting Jakarta and Bandung, an important center for arts and culture. Another fast train is being built in Thailand. The idea is to connect it to the Laos-China Railway all the way to Bangkok. But it's hit some speed bumps, like delays and rising costs. The Thai government hopes it'll be up and running by 2028. However, contrary to this, India's infrastructure development faces several challenges that have slowed its progress. Their transportation, like roads and rails, needs upgrades. Some country areas are hard to reach, and new tech isn't used much yet. This makes it tough to move things and people around quickly. Plus, the rules and cost of moving stuff for businesses are pretty tricky. Getting things from one state to another is hard because the process isn't smooth. On the energy side, it's equally tricky. India uses a lot of coal and doesn't have enough green energy systems. They also don't spend enough money on improving their power system, which leads to frequent blackouts and energy waste. India needs more than $840 billion to make its infrastructure better. In terms of social and political stability, China can build entire cities or huge water systems, like the South-North Water Diversion Project. They spent over $62 billion to bring water to the dry northern cities. On the other hand, India takes its time. For example, they took over 10 years to agree on a new tax system, the goods and services tax. But with more than 1.4 billion people, it can be hard to keep everyone happy. This sometimes causes unrest, like the big farm protests in 2020 to 2021. Also, India ranked 126th out of 163 in the Global Peace Index in 2023, pointing out some ongoing tensions and increasing violence. Each year, India's defense budget increases. In 2020, the budget was approximately $72.9 billion. Since then, it has grown by 14.5% by the end of 2023, reaching an impressive $83.6 billion. With these figures, India has become the fourth largest military spender in the world, trailing only the United States, China, and Russia. Not only that, in 2023, India became the fourth team to land a spaceship on the moon, thanks to their successful Chandrayaan-3 mission. This great achievement showed the world that India is awesome at space and made their space dreams even bigger. Girija Pandey, the head of Apex Advisors in Singapore, said he's thrilled about Indian Space Research Organization's amazing outer space achievement. He said, "This is a big win for all of us in India. It's like we just unlocked a huge door to the vast world of outer space industries." Despite facing significant challenges, India has immense potential to position itself as a superpower. One of its most formidable assets is its youthful demographic profile, with a large proportion of the population under 35. What's more, India benefits from being a key part of the China Plus One strategy, which many global companies are adopting. This strategy involves diversifying supply chains by adding another country, like India, alongside China to reduce risks. Its strong ties with the West make it strategically significant, but also crucial for everyone else. According to the International Monetary Fund, India is a key crossroads in the global economy. In fact, India is uniquely positioned to take a leading role in promoting free trade, both domestically and globally. However, what truly matters is how India handles its own affairs. It's got quite a list of internal challenges: maintaining stability, enhancing education, upholding the rule of law, upgrading infrastructure, making itself attractive for investment, welcoming foreign investment, and making a quick move towards cleaner energy. So it seems reasonable to suggest that India could potentially become a major player on the global stage, while China might face challenges that could impact its dominant position. So do you think that India can replace China on the global stage? Let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on global economics, and thank you for watching.